as we kick off Beauty Week, I can't have thought or dreamt to have done it with anyone like you. When do you feel most beautiful?
I have to say I feel pretty beautiful talking to you because it's amazing to talk to another woman you admire and bounce back and forth with her and look at her beautiful bouncy hair. You have really bouncy hair.
Thank you. It's all Mr. Daniel.
Thank you, Mr. Daniel, for blessing us. And I feel beautiful when I'm directing. I love to feel like I'm in charge, but I love to do it in a way that's gentle and in a way that honors other people's creative process, and just to gently move a process along and to express my vision and bounce off someone else's. And I love to just wear those headphones and wear those boots and tromp around, and like midday on a long shoot day, and like you've just had your third coffee of the day and you're about to like charge up a hill. Like that's a really good feeling.
I relate to you because I feel like I grew up, I was like an adult. I wasn't a kid. I never felt like a kid. I was always interested in a bigger picture thinking, living, and conversations, even when I was young.
You know, I didn't live my childhood in the public eye the way that you did, but I've lived a very pivotal period, you know, from 23 to 34, under a specific kind of scrutiny. And I think watching the way that you have navigated that so gracefully, and that you have actually carved your own path and actually decided to define your own chapters, that's something that I've taken a lot of heart in at moments where I felt like other people were maybe making those definitions for me. So your journey has not gone unnoticed by this little wanderer.
Thank you so much for that. One of the things I love about you, and that I've tried to do a lot in my life, is be open to listening to all of it and putting it through your own funnel, you know, however you interpret it. A lot of people, it's hard to hear everything. It's not easy. It takes a spine and a sense of humor.
Yeah, and there have been times that people have told me things, by people I mean the public, that have been really important for me to hear, things that were really important for me to hear. And there have been times that I've received criticism that I knew was the voice of a system, a patriarchal system, a system that didn't like to hear noisy women, a system that didn't like to hear, you know, women who wanted to talk about their bodies, women who wanted to talk about sex, women who wanted to talk about their libidos, women who wanted to talk about their anger. And I really had to try to separate what was useful and valid criticism that I needed to internalize in order to grow and become the person that I knew I wanted to be. And yes, it does take being able to really hear and also really be able to laugh at yourself.
Lena's journey to self-love has included some serious health struggles. She lives with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which causes joint pain and other issues, as well as endometriosis, for which she underwent a hysterectomy at age 31. Now, you've talked a lot about health. You mentioned the body and just everything that a lot of people are not comfortable talking about, they're not comfortable listening to. This is men and women. This is a genderless issue. Will you talk to me about your health, where you've been, where it's at now? Because I have been wrapped in your journey as a woman.
Well, that means so much. And from the beginning of my health struggle, something that I was really committed to was the idea that I was not going to keep it a secret, because we're in a culture that sees illness as weakness. We're in a culture that sees sick women as hysterical women. And we're in a business, you and I, that doesn't look kindly on illness, because people are working at such a pace with so much money involved that for someone to be in any way unable to show up or potentially, you know, a liability. And so I wanted to bring it out into the open. You know, I knew for a long time that I was sick with endometriosis. It caused an enormous amount of pain, health challenges. But I also knew something deeper was going on with my body. And so I undertook an exploration and came to understand that I also have an underlying health condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a connective tissue disease that causes diffuse musculoskeletal pain and a number of other sort of random but interlinked symptoms. I also have a form of autoimmune arthritis that is associated with it. And so I also deal with autoimmune issues at the same time. And so all of that came together in my 20s to make a pretty miserable, when I wasn't treating it, to make a pretty miserable health picture, and sort of culminated in my having a hysterectomy and one of my ovaries removed at 31, which was, terrifying, not just because it was a massive surgery, but because I really want to be a mom and had always thought that I was going to do it in the traditional way. And I don't think I realized how much I was going to grieve that and how intense that process was going to be. And I have to say, though, the process of being able to be open about that and write about that and understand how many other women, how many other people, how many other couples have grieved that alone and together was one of the most healing things I've ever experienced.